It's the Cooper and Anthony Show.
So I want to know what you think about this.
Okay.
There's a Dear Prudence letter that was in the Slate today.
Okay. Is that a like a advice columnist?
Yeah, I guess it is.
Yeah, like a syndicated advice columnist, right?
Right. Mm-hmm. So this lady says, my boyfriend babysat for my 3-year-old son a few hours when she attended a seminar. And she really appreciated it. They had fun. They went to the park. This is the first time they spent time together without her. So they've been dating for a while. She's got a 3-year-old. And he said, I'll watch the kid while you do this.
Right.
So when they went to the park, the boyfriend asked the kid not to call him Chris, but to call him Daddy.
Oh.
So this girl is very pissed off about that her boyfriend of a couple of months is wanting her 3-year-old to call him Daddy instead of Chris.
Here's where I thought you were going with it. I thought you were going to tell me he babysat for 3 hours and then she came home and he said that'll be $35. Like he was going to charge her for babysitting. That's what I thought you were going to tell me, that he charged her for babysitting. Like, should you charge for babysitting your girlfriend or boyfriend's child? Okay, it's sweet, but it's not cool because that has to be an agreement between two people. Mm-hmm. It's a really big deal, by the way, to introduce your kid to some guy you're dating if you're not engaged or going to get married. It can be very confusing. Like, I have to say, like, when my parents got divorced, I was 4 years old. My mom, this is where I get it from. There was a revolving door. First of all, my mother was hot. And she was like really into working out. She was at the gym and she was always like playing tennis and going to aerobics class and stuff. So she had no trouble meeting guys. But I would come down. There'd be another guy coming handing me a gift, like, trying to get to her by giving the kid a gift. Mm-hmm. I made out like a bandit. So for me, it was fine. But not one of them ever said, call me Daddy. Like, that's really inappropriate.
I could see his side, though, going to the park. You don't want the kid going, hey, Chris. And then you're that weird guy that takes the kid to the park.
Why not? One of my best friends has a Manny instead of a nanny. Mm-hmm. And when the kids go to the park with the Manny, they call him Dave. Like, hey, Dave, come here. Dave, can you get me this? Dave, can we have some ice cream? And no one's like, oh, why are you calling a stranger Dave? It's like, no, that's their Manny. Like, get over it.
Mm-hmm. But it's easier for the kid to say Daddy.
No, it isn't. Okay. Because the guy's name is Chris. My stepfather has been in my life since I'm like 8 years old, 9 years old. I still call him by his first name.
Yeah. Same here. My stepfather's been in my life since I was 5. I've never called him Dad.
Well, exactly. That's my point. So I think it's inappropriate if you haven't had the conversation with the mother first. Mm. It's her call, not yours. That's the main thing, that it's really not his decision to make.
Yeah, and if you're only dating him a few months, you're going to drop him the minute he asks you that anyway, because he's strange. I want your son to call me Daddy.
Listen, I've definitely been with guys that as soon as I met them, you just know it's the right thing. And next thing you know, a year has passed and you've spent every day with them. Mm. So, maybe it's one of those relationships that just clicked from the very beginning. But until you're engaged, or until that's a decision that you've made as a couple, see, that's the bigger warning sign, that he made a unilateral decision about her child. It's not his kid, not yet. He hasn't adopted the kid. It's her kid. He made a big decision like that without consulting her. That's the bigger red flag.
Yeah, and what happens when they break up in 2 months and then the kid's going to be like, now I have no daddies. I had 2, and then now I have none.
And they're both gone.
But is it worse for the kid to have a daddy in his life than not have one?
I don't think it matters calling somebody daddy. I think having a male role model in your life is what's important, regardless of what you call him. There's plenty of kids out there that grow up without a father or stepfather, but they have like a grandfather or an uncle or a neighbor, like that's what the whole Big Brothers Big Sisters program is all about. That you grow up with a role model of an older adult so that you feel like you have another parent around.
So you would rather him ask you to call him daddy?
Who's your daddy?
Who's your daddy? That's what he should be asking the girlfriend, not the kid.
Right. You got it all wrong.
Then you don't have a problem with it at all.
Then it's fine.